is that, like, we've come to the conclusion that we were running after a number of various different shootings, funerals, and things of that nature. And God has led us to a point that if we're going to make impact, that we have to take one neighborhood at a time. Yeah. We have decided that, you know, that Newhallville will be the neighborhood that we are going to begin to do the most in all of our work over the next 3 to 5 years. We've adopted this community. We adopted 10 areas of this community. On this little area here, this is called the We Care Zone. It's actually the promised land. And I'm going through things quickly, so I don't have to hold people up. Back in September, we knew in order to be able to begin coming into the Newhallville area, we all had these shirts on, the Brotherhood shirts that you see in yellow. We began walking this neighborhood of Ivy Street, from Dixwell to Ivy, down to Newhall, from Newhall Street up to Reed Street back down to Shelton, Shelton back down to Bassett, Bassett back to Dixwell, Dixwell and Bassett back down to Ivy. In this geographical area, we've learned over the last 5 or 6 months that in this little geographical area, there has been 553 incidents reported by the police department from January of 2009 to October 2010. 553 police calls in this small area dealing with either, you know, shootings, assaults, domestic violence, you know, suspicious characters going through back windows, fights, you name it. There's 553 calls in a small geographical area. And what it is that we decided that we would adopt 10 blocks of this geographical area, calling it the Promised Land. Why are we calling it the Promised Land? Because we feel that, you know, if we're going to change neighborhoods around, we have to go into those communities that are most impacted by, you know, the things that are going on. So what we began to do, September, the Brotherhood began to walking in this neighborhood. We were walking like 15 at a time, just walking down the street, shaking hands, and called the visibility walk. We started off with the visibility walk. The next thing what we tried to do is began to meet people, recruit people. We've registered about, signed up about maybe 60 to 70 men out of the Newhallville area. Now, we knew as we began to walk, we want to know what the residents felt in Newhallville. So what we did, we put together a survey together, and what I want to do at this time is bring forth our administrative director for the Promised Land project, and just to share with you briefly what some of the residents in Newhall said, what some of the things they want, one of the things they desire. And so she was able to put the results of our survey. We did go see about 100 houses and talk to people in those homes. And at this time, I'd like to have her come forward, our administrative director, Elnora Russell Bell, just to give you a briefing on the results of that.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to make this real quick for you. It was a very lengthy survey that we did, and the results were very interesting. In part, we talked about in the survey, what did you want to see change in the neighborhood of the Newhallville Promised Land project, and all the areas were not questioned. However, in the survey, we only took approximately 100 or so individual questionnaires, and the feedback was interesting. One of the major topics in regards to the areas that of major concern was violence. Violence in the neighborhood, gang-related violence, and also, as Minister Donald said, a report of crime. He mentioned that it was, I'll be a little more specific, it was actually, say, January 2009 to October 2009. And this right here was just for 1/4 of the area. Not all the districts, 1/4 of the area, 553 incidents. Okay, so that is tremendous if you multiply that times all the zones, and from January to October. So that was a major concern. One of the other major concerns was lack of places for the youth to participate after school, before school, after school, and what to do with their time. The elderly were concerned about the blight in the neighborhood, the buildings that were abandoned, absentee landlords. They were concerned about, some of the residents had been here 30, 40, 50 years, and there's a misconception that there's not property owners in the area. There are a lot of property owners in Newhallville, but there are also a lot of absentee landlords. One of the major concerns also was that in the survey, I would say it was approximately 45% of the residents are not registered voters. And so that is a major concern also. So to cap it off, crime, gang-related violence, lack of participation actually they said the community, as far as the management team, half of them didn't know that a management team existed, or that when the meetings were, how often they were, and who to go to. They wanted to see more police presence in the neighborhood, and who do they go to? A lot of them felt that they would be retaliated against if they did speak out, and what to do. So basically, if you want more detail, please contact the commission. We can give you a detailed report. Thank you.
The results, we have some of the results of people that want pretty much about the Christian Community Commission, a little bit more about it. Let us just say this here. We know that we cannot take on all of the problems of Newhallville. This is not the goal of the Brotherhood Leadership Summit. We are, first of all, our first goal and objective, to tell you the truth, is lead people back to God. Amen. That's our first and foremost goal and objective. We believe that there's a lot of people who are suffering from the inner man and the inner woman, and needs to be able to build some kind of relationship which will restore them from the inside, no matter how much we build on the outside. So we want to be able to lay that foundation too. But we also want people to know that we will not come and get anointing oil and pour it over anybody's head. That is not our goal either. But it is, we realize that men need to have a presence in Newhallville. Men need to step up, volunteer, get involved, be seen, addressing issues that affect us. So therefore, what it is that we are looking for volunteers that will continue to join us in the Promised Land effort. Now, the collaborative that have already been talked about. We would love to build what we call the Promised Land Action Committee. And we're going to be talking to different people. We have been talking to some people already about possibly being a part of such a committee, of a collaborative that will bring different, components together that will reach out in different ways. One of the things that Sister Elnora Russell Bell mentioned about the collaborative, one of the things that people were saying concerning Newhallville, that it was dirty, that there was trash, bottles, debris, streets where it was a lot of litter, in the community. A big thing. We want to do beautification projects in Newhallville.
Okay, my name is Brother GNC Hoare, and also in the neighborhood they know me as Born, B-O-R-N, just like a baby. Okay. Yeah.
All right, Brother Born, you have a powerful story. You've seen firsthand violence in the neighborhood. You were shot. Tell us what happened, and how is the Brotherhood bringing about a change in the neighborhood?
Well, actually, the situation that happened is I came home from work around 10:30 at night. I made my way to the 24-hour store that's right here on the corner of Dixwell and Bassett Street, right here in the zone, the Promised Land zone. I went to the store, and I guess some of the gentlemen see me with some of the money. They followed me right around the corner to Willard Street that we're right across the street from right now. Walked up on the porch. They knocked on my door because I was selling headbands, wristbands, red, black, and green. Just being a part of the neighborhood. They knocked on the door, asked if I had any CDs. I came to the door. It was a brother with a gentleman. It was a gentleman there with a gun. I can't say brother really because it was a guy there with a gun. I went out. It was a struggle because I had my wife at home, 2 kids in the house, and I thought it was some type of home invasion. So I went out to to engage the gentleman who was on my porch with the gun, and ended up it was 3 gentlemen there. Shot me once in the leg, shot me in the shoulder. The bullet in the shoulder bounced around, hit me in the spine. I've been in this chair for a little over 4 years. But with the work of God, we going to keep working at it. I got you know, I got feeling in my right leg. We working harder and harder, and every day we get a little better. But that's the situation. Basically, what happened? The brotherhood. I seen him in the neighborhood though just this past year after coming back from going to Dallas for a little while, and then coming back and seeing the neighborhood as it's going, and then seeing gentlemen come in. Right now, I'm seeing it as a positive effect because at least someone's out and you can see someone walking through the neighborhood, at least knowing that somebody else has some type of caring for where you live at besides your own self. So that, you know, I think that it should be something that motivates Newhallville residents. I'm one of the residents. I'm motivated, so you know, hey, I got to take it as that. If I'm motivated, then hopefully somebody else, at least one more. That's what we need. One at a time. One at a time, we could change. You know, that's what it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Now, how do I spell your name?
All right. The spelling of my honorable name is Yancey, Y-A-N-C-E-Y, Horton, H-O-R-T-O-N. And born, that's what most people know me as. You come to the neighborhood and ask for born.
Yancey, then born in parentheses.
Yeah, if you come to the neighborhood and say, y'all know where born at? And the neighborhood going to direct you to the house.
Okay, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Hello. We thank you again for being able to inviting you to the Christian Community broadcast. We thank you for tuning in at this time. And we want you to know, continue on watching because God has a plan and a blessing for each and every one of us. God bless you and thank you again for watching.